you guys are planting beans this year, using a no-till drill like the Great Plains Stealth Pro 10 is the best way to do that. Before you get started, accurate calibration is important for hitting your target seed rates, avoiding overcrowding, and maximizing yields. We're going to go through the step-by-step process of how to properly calibrate your drill. Great Plains does a great job. They have the step-by-step process actually printed in the lid of the big seed box. It's printed in the owner's manual, and they have a great app that takes you through the step-by-step process. All you need is the serial number and the model of your drill plugged into the app, and you can use the calibration tool on the app. Before we get started with the steps, you need a couple tools. A set of pliers to disconnect the hoses. I use channel lock pliers. A scale. I like a small digital fishing scale that takes you to the hundredths place on the pounds, as opposed to just a tens place. You know, and you don't have to convert ounces. So I can get a, 2.12 pounds on this. And you need a container to catch your seed. Calibration is specific to the type of seed you're planting. Today we're calibrating to the Monster Buck forage soybeans. Once you have your seed selected, you got to know your target pounds per acre. So today I'm going to calibrate this drill to 52 pounds per acre for the soybeans. Great Plains provides charts that give you a starting point. So you can go into the chart, you can look at your soybean, your target rate. The charts will tell you where to set your gearbox drive and your seed rate handle. Step one is putting your drill on a flat, level surface, putting the parking brake on the tractor, and lowering the drill to the ground. Step two is adjust your drill settings. So the gearbox on these drills has 4 different drive settings, 1, 2, 3, 4, and for the soybeans we're setting it at 2. Our seed rate handle is on the front side of the drill under the large box. Got a wing nut. You loosen this up. I've already got it set to 35, which is where the chart's recommended. We tighten that wing nut back down. The next setting is the seed cup doors. There's 4 settings on those, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is your clean out. And for soybeans, Great Plains recommends setting it to 2, which is the middle setting. Step 3 is deciding how many cups you want to use for the calibration. Great Plains recommends a minimum of 3. I like to use the 3 on the end. They're easy to get to. We're going to disconnect the 3 large hoses. Those are connected to the main seed box, and put them in the bucket. This is where we use the channel lock pliers. I like to slide the hose ring up onto the hose and then just disconnect the hose from the machine. Step 4 is adding seed to the box, and it's important to only put the seed over the 3 cups that you're using for the calibration. Otherwise, you're just putting the seed onto the ground. Step 5, we want to get the weight of the empty container. So always get that weight. In this case, it's 0.94 pounds. We write that down so that we can subtract it from the weight of the bucket with the seed in it. A lot of these scales have a tare function, but the problem is I weigh the bucket and tare it, and by the time I'm done with my cranks, it's auto-powered down. So it's nice to write down that weight so that you can just do the math. Step 6 is to hook up the calibration crank. The calibration crank is stored right here on the frame of the drill. Step 7 is to prime your seed cups. And before you do that, you want to put your 3 disconnected hoses into your bucket. And then we prime the seed cups by just turning the handle counterclockwise so that we can get those seed cups full of seed, so it's an accurate representation of what's coming out with each rotation. Step 8 is to turn our calibration crank and meter out our seed. On the Stealth Pro 10, it's 411 cranks for an acre. So we do 1/10 of that. We do 41 revolutions on the calibration crank, and they're counterclockwise. Step 9, we're going to get a weight on our seed. Just got to make sure all the seed comes out of the hoses. So you lift the hoses up, give them a little jiggle, make sure all the seed falls down to the bucket, and then get a weight of the bucket with the seed. And this is where we're going to subtract the weight of the bucket from that measurement for our seed weight. So step 10 is to do our calculation to figure out how many pounds per acre we're working with. The app is really nice. You plug in your weights and it does the calculation for you, but it's good to know how this calculation is done. And so once I get my seed weight, This is out of 3 cups. So I divide that number by 3. Now I've got the pounds per 1 cup. On this drill, I'm running 15 cups. So now I multiply that number by 15. And if you remember, we're 1/10 of an acre, so now we multiply that last number by 10 to get up to a whole acre. So I'll recap that one more time. You take your weight, which was 3 cups. You divide it by 3 to get a single cup's weight of seed. There's 15 total cups that I'm using on this drill, so we're gonna multiply it by 15. And then we did 1/10 of an acre, 41 revolutions. We wanna get that up to a whole acre, so we multiply that final number by 10. And that's gonna be our pounds per acre. So step 11 is to identify if you hit your target rate or not. Thankfully, with the app and with these charts, usually it's spot on. But if you're not quite where you wanna be, you make an adjustment on the seed rate handle, either up or down, to shift that pound per acre in whatever direction you need to. Step 12, the final step, is to make sure you hook your hoses back up, fill your seed box with your seed, and you're ready to plant. So in summary, proper calibration is extremely important for accurate seed rates to avoid overcrowding and maximizing your yield so you can have a successful fall. I know that calibrating these drills can sometimes be intimidating. Hopefully this step-by-step process helps make it easier for you guys. If there's any questions, leave us a comment. We look forward to bringing you more of these how-to videos. Thanks for watching.